What's up, outsiders? I'm here in Holland, New York, getting ready to tackle the Holland Ravines on the Finger Lakes Trail. The Finger Lakes Trail is a trail that goes from Allegheny State Park at the New York, Pennsylvania border and goes all the way to the long path in the Catskills, totaling 580 miles. The Finger Lakes Trail has several branches or spurs. This is actually one of them. It's called the Conservation Trail, and it goes all the way to the Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls. This particular section that I'm doing today is a 9.5 mile section. It's called the Holland Ravines. It's a pretty gnarly section with 34 ravines, bunch of switchbacks, bridges, a bunch of elevation. I'm here at the Holland Willows, which is the traditional ending point of this point-to-point hike. However, I'm doing it solo, so I've stashed my bike at the other trailhead, and I'm gonna hike in that direction, ride my bike back to here. So it's bright and sunny out now. Got a pretty early start. However, there's some wind and rain moving in for the afternoon. I'm hoping to get to my bike before the rain. I might be coming back in the rain, but either way, it's all part of the adventure. First part of the trail is on the road until we go over some properties, and then we go over 16, which is a major road that we cross. I keep checking my bag to make sure I got the keys to the lock on my bike. I'd hate to get 9.5 miles down and realize I don't have my key. So that's where the trail crosses the road here. We came from the Holland Willows just down the road. We got some blazes over here, and if I remember right, kind of zigzag through some private property before we actually cross 16 and get into the meat of it. After walking through some backyards, you come to 16. It's a pretty busy highway, 55 miles an hour, so be careful crossing. And the trail is just up this way. See the blazes as you cross. That's kind of funny. Ray and Dawn are good friends. They're in the challenge that I'm running, and they're going fishing. They saw me on 16 and pulled me over. Now let's start this Holland Ravines. Now we're into it here. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep track of it, but this is ravine crossing number 1. My experience on the Finger Lakes Trail is it's super well blazed, super well maintained. Kudos to all of the volunteers and the trail crew. You guys do a great job. I've already lost track of what ravine this is. I think it's number 5, if that little one is counted. Pretty cool area. A lot of overhanging grapevines. Kind of walk through a cathedral of them. The beautiful house behind me reminds us that a lot of these overland trails go through private land. The landowners are allowing us to cross their land, so we must have a higher level of respect when we're crossing through these areas. So we've come to our first road crossing, and I think this is County Road 53. Looking around for blazes, I see orange way up there, so I think that's where we got to go. Okay, definitely lost track of ravines. I think we crossed a couple on that road through the private owner's land, but this one's pretty cool. Some steps coming down here. Nice little switchback, and we got pretty cool stair climb right there. Beautiful. Tracking this on my watch, And I love seeing the zigzags. It means it's a switchback with a ravine, usually a staircase. Really, really well designed trail. Sign to treat all water probably indicates we're getting close to the campsite on this section of the Finger Lakes Trail. So this is a section that is dedicated to Maple James. This is the birthplace of the conservation trail. And then we're gonna hit the Becker Nature Trail, and this is where the challenge marker actually is. I've never actually been on this section, so let's go explore. This is the Western New York Hiking Challenge landmark, the bench dedicated to Dennis Becker. This is the Conservation Trail dedication site, May 1962. Pretty cool. And a nice plaque of the founding members of the Conservation Trail. We signed in, and on the page that I signed in, we see Joyce Hodgson, Chad Adams, Bob Merkel, Janet and David Kowalski, all people part of the Western New York Hiking Challenge. Cool to see this. Thanks for signing in. Really, really cool. Now this nature trail just loops back around, and I think it comes out very near to the campsite. I actually might have missed that campsite. They're scooching under here, and they got a sign that this was caused by tornado damage in 2017. So this is the campsite here. There's a picnic table, but as you can see from the sign behind me, no open fires. We're on private property, so the landowners don't want fires, and I don't blame them. But if you can camp here, we're gonna continue on to the bike. Got a long ways to go yet. All right, proper ravine. It's been a while. We're traipsing through a bunch of kind of farmland, muddy areas. Let's see where it goes up. I'm at just over 6 miles, and skies are still pretty clear. Just checked the radar. The storm is way north of where I am right now, so I think I'm going to be clear even on my bike. But it did cool off a bit, and it's pretty windy out now. Humphreys Road, I believe this is. And you can see this is the start of the Maple James section. And the Finger Lakes Registry is here on the other side. Unfortunately, my GoPro died, so I'm going to do the rest of this on my phone. Have never been happy with the GoPro 6. Think it's time to upgrade to a Hero 8. Next road we encounter, I think, will be Carpenter and the end of our hike. And just like the Maple James commemorative section, there is the Art and Olga Rausch memorial section. Just crossed the 8-mile mark, and still kind of a nice day. Not many clouds, the sun is still out. aside from the wind, it's beautiful. So just about a mile, mile and a half to go, and then we'll do part 2 of our journey. So that was one of the coolest switchbacks of the whole trip. There's a pretty steep ravine here, bunch of switchbacks, stairs, really well done by the Finger Lakes trail crew. Love it. I almost want to say this is the last ravine, and we're really close to my bike. I'm gonna sign in here as well and cross the ravine, and I think my bike is just over there. So this is definitely a good feeling. Just finished the trail, got to my bike, looking at the stats. I've got 9.63 miles and about 1,600 feet of elevation change. It's not an easy hike, it's a long hike. The weather held off for me. I'm gonna text my wife, let her know I'm still alive, and grab some grub and saddle up for part 2 of my adventure. I think I checked it 5 or 6 times in the car and on the trail to make sure that I had my lock key. That would have sucked. Now we're in mountain bike mode, driving on roads. They're kind of rough roads, but roads nonetheless. I planned this hike today to go from Holland Willows to Carpenter Road, which is mostly uphill. So I hiked uphill so that I would have a mostly downhill bike ride. And when I shuttled over to the Holland Willows, there's one pretty good hill I'm looking forward to. After a long hike, it actually doesn't feel too bad to hop on the bike. It's using slightly different muscles. Actually a little therapeutic. All right, so the one thing I didn't factor in today, there's a little bit of wind, and it's all in my face right now. A lot of wind, but just turned the corner, and the wind's not exactly in our face, but now we're going downhill. GoPro failed me again. Woo! Flying through this section. Got the brakes on the whole time. Don't even have to pedal. There's no way I would have been able to ride my bike up that hill, but man, coming down, that was fun. Now just got to go a little short ways to Holland Willows and the car. Okay, outsiders, so that's the Holland Ravines. It's a challenging but rewarding section of the Finger Lakes Trail. 9.5 miles, 34 ravines, and then rode my bike back. So glad I came out today. The weather forecast was kind of crummy in the afternoon. Had I stuck to that, I wouldn't have had this great adventure. You never regret the things you do, only the things that you don't do. If I wouldn't have came out and it was a beautiful day, I would have been moping around at home. So I'm glad I came out. Hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to click that like button. If you want to see other outdoor adventures, other gear how-tos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. That's it for now. I'll see you guys outside.